There's a county in central Taiwan that's come up with a unique way to attract tourists, and it involves oxen. In case you missed it, we've curated a whole show for you about that county, Changhua. I'm Andrew Ryan, and we begin with an insider's look courtesy of the county chief. A hotel for trains, a temple made of glass, and a date with a sea ox.
Yeah.
Today, we're headed to Changhua County on the west coast of Taiwan. Changhua is the smallest county on the main island of Taiwan, but it's home to one of the biggest Buddha statues in the whole country. And that's where we start our journey. Wait a minute, what happened to the statue? Some people in Changhua joke that the Buddha's been pixelated, but Changhua Magistrate Wang Hui-mei says they're just renovating it.
大佛它在整修，因为它经过了这个风吹雨打，那也多了一些这个伤痕，所以我们现在呢再把它好好的整理，专业的把它整理，让它慢慢又能够更加的绵延后面的100年、200年这样。因为我们明年刚好建县300年，那我们就是希望就是说，透过在建县300年的一个过程中，能够让大佛那换个这个回复到它以前这个亮丽的一个面貌。
With the Buddha under wraps, County Magistrate Wang Hui-mei is taking us to a spot right next door, Guashan Village, a hot new destination for the TikTok generation.
这里以前也是闲置空间，我们引进很多的青年朋友进来到这边啊，透过青年他的一个创意、他的文创，然后把这个整个的地方给活化起来。
Today, it's lined with eateries and arts and crafts shops where you can try your hand at block printing. 1、2、3。
开讲。
Wow. Or creating handicrafts out of concrete, like these little planters. With a snap, we make jagged cracks that will allow tiny plants to grow through.
年轻人都很有创意，把原本这样不怎么样的这种水泥的东西，能够去把它变成这个跟艺术啦、跟这个植物啦、跟生活有关系，
变成文创。
对。
This creative energy takes me by surprise during my trip to Changhua, a place I've always known more for its tradition and history than for thinking outside of the box. But does Changhua have what it takes to become an international travel destination? The county chief has come prepared with some ideas.
彰化有3个，它是比较属于国际级的。那一个就是我们这个扇形车库，它是亚洲唯2的，那是一个活的火车的旅馆，在这么小的一个空间里面，可以同时容纳10几台这个火车在里面。
其实亚洲是只有2个，
对，一个在日本，一个就在我们的彰化。
哇，很特别。
第2个部分的话，我们的这个玻璃庙。 那玻璃庙它就用了7万多片的玻璃哦，做出来的一个庙宇，会依照我们这个太阳的东西的这个部分不一样的折射，那个庙的那个景观就是完全不一样哦。那这也是我们这个世界唯一的。那另外的话，我们还有一个叫做海牛彩科哦，那这个部分呢，我们也列为无形的文化资产。
You good? I'm good. Her third recommendation sends me out on a mission. To meet an ox named Silly Bull. 加油! He's my guide on a trip to the seashore to collect shellfish, the way they did it in the old days. There are only 7 or 8 of these oxen still in service, but Changhua is trying to revive the tradition. At the beach, we discover mud skippers and tiny crabs, but the highlight is what they call pearl oysters. They may not contain actual pearls, but they are prized for their unique, meaty texture. Mr. Hong says that comes from the way they are grown, horizontally, so they spend part of the day underwater and part steaming in the sun. You can barbecue them right on the beach if you like, but the best way to sample them is fresh out of the shell.
That is fresh oyster. That is probably the freshest oyster I've ever had, plucked straight from the ocean.
Now, don't get me wrong, I could spend the rest of the day here sampling oysters, but I've come to Changhua on a mission to travel the county in search of all the things that could make it an international travel destination. If you had to choose just one place to bring a foreign visitor to Changhua, where would you bring them for the day?
我这会得罪很多人呢，但是我还是有一点私心，因为我是鹿港人，我还是希望大家到鹿港啊。 鹿港它可以说是一个开放式的博物馆，它在台湾是第2个古老的一个城市，所以说它有很多古老的庙宇，然后它也有很多工艺师在这边哦，那保存下来的很多很传统的东西，那所以说鹿港可以说是台湾文化的一个缩影。那所以来到这边，你除了可以看庙宇、吃小吃，那还有我们的这个工匠他们的一些作品。那像我们国宝级的，在鹿港地区就有4个国宝。虽然是一个小镇，但是你可以在这边同时能够涉猎到很多在台湾很传统的东西。
Some of Lugang's proudest creations, like these traditional paper lanterns, have even captured the attention of the president, who's given them as gifts to international visitors. Perhaps the biggest surprise of all from my trip to Changhua is another one of the county's products, wine. Yes, as in the kind you make from grapes. There are 8 wineries in the county, and you can actually go and sit in an orchard to do a little wine tasting. And don't knock it before you've tried it. They even export some of these wines to Japan. As the sun dips below the horizon, I have one final stop in Changhua County, Guashan Temple, said to be the only glass building of its kind in the world. This temple is actually the perfect metaphor for Changhua County itself. From a distance, you'll see a traditional facade, but take one step closer and you'll see the glass walls, the glass ceiling, the beautiful colorful lights inside, and you'll realize that they're using innovation, beckoning you to draw near and see everything that this temple in Changhua County has to offer. Kama Xu, Alex Chen, Peachy Zhuang, and Andrew Ryan for TaiwanPlus. Now, one of the places that was not in the county chief's little black book was the 18 levels of hell. What am I talking about? Well, you see, there's a temple in Changhua County that has life-size dioramas showing you all the gory details of what happens in the underworld. I went to Nantian Temple to see it from my own 2 eyes. Look at that brave face. That's me walking up the steps of Nantian Temple, slightly surprised that hell is located upstairs and not in the basement. This exhibit is called the 18 Levels of Hell. Now, if you've ever wondered if you do something bad in this lifetime, what might happen in the next lifetime, well, look no further. I hear there's some answers inside. I barely get inside the door, and this happens. Oh, the bridge collapses with a pneumatic burst. I'm not sure I'm fully prepared for what's inside, but here goes nothing. Oh my God. I turn a corner and life-size displays of ancient torture spring to life before my eyes. It's like a theme park. A very gruesome one. But unlike a theme park, there are no long lines. The staff say that's not because of Ghost Month. It's empty year-round. Ugh. At each exhibit, there are lists of earthly sins, like, say, gossiping. Those are matched up with dioramas showing the Taoist version of an appropriate punishment. For example, if you instigate a murder, when you arrive in hell, you can expect to be dipped in a vat of bubbling oil. These displays were created about a half a century ago, so they're not lifelike enough to be terrifying. But my camera crew is not exactly complaining when it's time to go. Now, the animatronics make it pretty kitschy. However, I have to admit, I find it kind of creepy. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of parents bring their kids here to give them a bit of a scare. Before we leave, a quick check-in with the resident deities. I'm not necessarily a believer, but better safe than sorry. Kama Xu, Alex Chen, Peachy Zhuang, and Andrew Ryan for TaiwanPlus.
In the face of adversity, the power of truth.
A roadmap for a just and open world. Charted by the freest country in Asia.
5, 4, 3, 2.
A warm welcome to TaiwanPlus News. I'm Ian Kavat.
Taiwanese semiconductor giant TSMC.
Public buses to be electric by 2030. A mission that begins with listening.
And telling the stories of Taiwan.
In Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Drawing insight from original thinkers.
And sharing it with the world. TaiwanPlus News, a voice of freedom in Asia.
I think it's inaccurate to say the U.S. is primarily or largely interested in defending Taiwan because of semiconductors. I think there's interests, I think there are values, I think there's a lot at stake.
Why are semiconductors at the center of the U.S.-China rivalry? Will Washington's $50 billion CHIPS Act work? And is Taiwan's Silicon Shield under threat?
How did the U.S. manage to lose being that leader in manufacturing?
Join Chips War author Chris Miller for a compelling conversation about geopolitics and semiconductors.
If you look at the key policy that's driving discussion about security and supply chain resiliency is China's military buildup. How rapidly can we really reestablish the level of deterrence that we need to take this question off the table?
See the world through a new lens with TaiwanPlus.
One of Changhua County's most beloved historic sites turned 100 years old in December of 2022. It's Taiwan's only remaining railway roundhouse. Train fans and politicians traveled to the facility to celebrate the anniversary. Sam Robbins filed this report.
Though he may appear to be an enthusiastic train conductor, this is actually Taiwan's premier, Su Zhentang. Su was in central Taiwan's Changhua County on Sunday to celebrate the centenary of the area's historic railway roundhouse. He was among a number of train fans who were in attendance to mark the facility's 100 years of service.
Built
in 1922, Changhua's railway roundhouse is a location for engineers to repair locomotives. Roundhouse refers to the semicircle shape of the building. But as Taiwan's railways continue to develop, the roundhouse's time in service is coming to an end. The facility is used to repair certain types of trains, but these models will soon be out of use, which will also make the roundhouse obsolete. Taiwan's transport minister, Wang Hui-mei, was also in attendance at the centenary celebrations. He took the opportunity to discuss ways to preserve this part of Taiwan's transport history.
他们的这个彰化的这个机务段会移到花坛但是这个地方也会特别保留下来。那这个地方也会转型如果他修的是一个已经除役的机车头，他就往观光、教育跟历史来发展。
Taiwan's first railway track was laid 130 years ago, and improvements and advancements are still being made to this day. Even if its days of service are drawing to a close, the roundhouse will continue to remain an icon of Taiwan's railway development. Klein Wang and Sam Robbins for TaiwanPlus.
For our final story from Changhua today, we want to show you another birthday celebration. This one is for a temple, and it involves a whole lot of glove puppets. Mobile puppet theaters lined a road in Changhua's Fenyuan Township. There were 68 of them in total, stretching more than half a kilometer long. The traveling puppeteers were putting on performances in a style called budaishi in Mandarin. It's a form that goes back to the 17th century. This may look like a 100-year-old birthday, but it was actually the 26th anniversary of a temple dedicated to the earth god, a local deity who's clearly a big fan of budaishi. Thanks for joining me on this trip to central Taiwan. I'm Andrew Ryan. Finally today, we leave you with some more images from Changhua County. Take care. We'll see you next time.